God has plans to prosper you, give you hope and a future too. So let me remind you of what you have the power to do.
You've been on a journey, trying to find your way. Like the sun, you're rising, 'cause today's your day to unlock every gift inside. Let your potential flow. Don't let anybody kill your vibe. Time to bust up and show. Gotta keep on reaching, keep believing. Act like you know you can win. Live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired. To rise a little higher with Cassandra. They said you'd never make it, but you're still here. Kept on pushing through all your doubts and fears. Never let a hater see you sweat. Remember who you are. When they go low, let them reap what they sow while you go far. Gotta keep on reaching, keep believing. Baby, shine like a star. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra. If you got haters, they gon' hate. Keep your head up and just be great. It's your season, your winning season with Cassandra. Rise up, time to get on your grind. Go after your dreams, no time to fall behind. Push till the end and never give in. It's your winning season, get ready to win. Keep moving forward and never look back. It's time to get motivated with Cassandra Mack. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired. To rise a little higher with Cassandra Mack.
Today we're talking about the power of observation and intuition, and how these two things will help you avoid most of the drama that comes your way. Have you ever noticed that there are some people who just seem to be able to stay away from the drama, the foolery, and the nonsense, even when it comes their way, even when people try to provoke them, get in their business, while others seem to always have a lot of drama, a lot of misunderstandings with friends and family? Know that this is not luck, but it is a skill. And we're going to dive into this today. Today's video was brought to you by my book, Simple Prayers for Spiritual Warfare. It's a book of short, practical, tactical, Bible-based prayers that can be said in 1 minute or less when what you're dealing with is spiritual warfare, when the enemy is coming against you, and you need to stand in your power and authority as a believer. The link is in the description box. And there are even prayers for when people are coming against you with hate, when enemies are coming against you, when people are setting up evil altars against you. And you definitely will get some very clear, tactical, practical ways to stand firm. So let's start with observation. Observation isn't just seeing, but it's decoding the world around you. And the Bible speaks about this in Proverbs 22:3. It says, the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. So this means that people who are prudent pay attention, they observe, and then they take that information that they're observing and they factor in that information in their decision making concerning that specific person or issue. But when a person is behaving in a simple way or in a foolish way, they keep going despite what they may have observed, or they may dismiss what they observe or downplay what they observe, and then they pay the penalty, the consequences, whatever the backlash is of that situation. And so it is very important to observe how people move as soon as you meet them. And even if people are wearing a mask, what people cannot lie about is their body language. For a microsecond, when the eyes don't match the smile, when they are uncomfortable. And so you want to begin to pay attention to the little things that seem like it's nothing. Because here's what the Bible says about the little things. The Bible says it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. Think about that. And that may sound odd, like why little foxes spoil the vine and not big foxes? And reason being is because things that may seemingly small and insignificant can cause significant danger, particularly in relationships or personal growth if left unchecked, because the fact that they are little things, we often ignore them, downplay them, or dismiss them. But remember, little foxes eventually grow up to become big foxes. And so it's like the person who disrespects you a little bit and you don't check it, and then the disrespect becomes increasingly more disrespectful. So it started out as a little fox, but then it grows to be a big fox. Or the person who asks you for money one time, promises they're going to pay you back. They don't pay you back, and they ask you for money every week. They never pay you back, and now you have a pattern, and they get an attitude when you don't want to lend them money anymore, and now you have a big problem that did not have to be, because it is the little foxes, according to Solomon chapter 2 verse 15, that spoil the vine. And observation is paying attention to those little foxes. See, the prudent see danger and take refuge. Now, what does prudent mean within this context? Prudent is someone who is not only wise, but they actually take action on the wisdom that they are being downloaded with. So they don't just think about it, but they actually take advantage. And they move on that wisdom. So not take advantage like take advantage of a person, but take advantage of the wisdom, meaning now that I have this information, I am going to utilize this information for my benefit so that I don't get caught up in a situation that doesn't have to be. So these are some things that you want to keep in mind, and I'll give you a quick example. I remember I was doing work for a company, and it was a girlfriend of mine as well who actually brought me in. And I think it was maybe my second or third week there. And there was another woman who was also new. And she had asked me for my phone number. And I just sensed that she was a little too pushy for my taste. She was just too pushy. And I'm a firm believer in really getting to know a person before opening up my heart, my home, my resources, my private information. I believe you don't just give someone access automatically, and you don't know if this person is emotionally unhinged. You don't know if this person has envious tendencies. You don't know if this person is going to wreak havoc in your life because you haven't seen them under different conditions. So I didn't give her my phone number. And she had a whole attitude. So the fact that she had an attitude, that I just met her and didn't want to give her my phone number, I observed that very quickly. It told me everything I needed to know. You can't respect boundaries. No means no. So I didn't say all of that, but I just observed and I kept the matter in my mind. And she went on to say, well, I don't have a problem giving you my phone number, but here's the thing. Someone else's lack of boundaries should not dictate your boundaries. Their lack of boundaries, what they choose to do is up to them. That's their life, but their life is not your life. They don't get to dictate your values, boundaries, and priorities to you just because they have differing values, boundaries, and priorities. So she's a little, perturbed about the fact that I don't want to give her the number, and she makes it known. And my thing is, well, you have to let it rock. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't care. I didn't say all that, but my actions said that. So my girlfriend opened up, her home. She's very like an open person, very sweet. Opened up her heart, her home to this woman who caused absolute chaos. And I saw it coming from our first interaction when I didn't give her my phone number, and she took offense and went on and on and on about it, and also said something to our mutual friend about me. So that also let me know now she's a gossip. So everything you need to know, this is something I drill in my son's head. Everything you need to know about a person is right there in front of you. Is right there in front of you. And the more that you ascend spiritually, the more that you ascend, the more that you train your powers of discernment in accordance with the scriptures, it is going to be very difficult for a person to hide the spirit that they are operating in, whether it is the spirit of manipulation, the spirit of envy, the spirit of control, whatever that spirit is that they are operating in with that within that interaction with you. As you ascend spiritually and grow more and more in the things of God, it is going to be very difficult to pull the wool over your eyes, even if you don't speak on what you see, but the prudent acts on what they see, because everything doesn't need to be a confrontation and a conflict. You just need to know how to keep yourself safe, right? So let's go back to the scripture, because it tells us what to do. It says the prudent sees danger and takes refuge. And so when we had that interaction and she had an attitude and spoke a little, what's the word I will use? And spoke a little catty about the fact that I didn't want to give her my phone number, I saw danger. I saw that this woman is dangerous in terms of the danger of not having boundaries, the danger of not respecting my no, the danger of being easily offended when you say no. You cannot build a solid friendship with someone who's offended by every little thing, because you'll constantly have to walk on eggshells, and that person's not going to be the right friendship fit for me. Not only that, the fact that they could not accept my no. I don't know you from a can of paint. And even though you are my friend's friend, you're not my friend. I know nothing about you. And I can't go based on my friend's judgment, because I have a different set of skills in which I evaluate and judge my interactions with people. And some people lack judgment in certain areas, even though they are good and kind people. So I can't go by the next man or the next woman's judgment because you're good with them. And in reality, it seemed like she was good with my friend, but she created havoc and had my friend crying over the drama and craziness she brought in her life that I saw from day one. So the prudent see danger, whether it's the danger of just a whole lot of foolery and drama in your life, and you take refuge. So refuge means you shelter yourself. So how are you going to shelter yourself from a person who is selfish? How are you going to shelter yourself from a person who is entitled if you see that, because you observe that? How are you going to shelter yourself from a person who is narcissistic and entitled and can't take your no, can't respect your no? How will you shelter yourself? You have to put guardrails in place. But the simple, the foolish, keep going and they pay the penalty. And this is not an insult. This is Bible. This is Bible. And so sometimes we are simple and foolish, meaning we lack knowledge in a given area. It's not an insult. When we're simple and foolish in a given area, it simply means that we need to make sure that we're growing in that area, that we have to pay more attention in that area, whether it's training our powers of discernment, whether it is being whether it is being more knowledgeable in the area of observation and not dismissing, discounting, or downplaying our observation. So it is really beginning to look at the areas where we may need to tweak, grow, learn a little bit more if we are simple and foolish in a particular area, so that we don't keep going despite the fact that there are little foxes or warning bells or red flags, because then you pay the penalty. And so my girlfriend, we'll give her a name. My girlfriend, Donna, not her real name, was caught up in so much craziness as a result of this woman's behavior. She was a pathological liar. I mean, it was a lot that she got her caught up in. So she paid the penalty. And just the fact that the woman was offended by the fact that I didn't want to give her my number without knowing her, and she proceeded to speak negatively about me, should have been enough of a red flag for my girlfriend Donna to say, this woman doesn't have integrity. This woman could be a loose cannon. This woman doesn't regulate herself emotionally, and that's going to be problematic down the line, because we're all grown. This is not my minor child who I am charged with helping to grow and raising. So be mindful of that. So that's your observation. But then you also have intuition, different from discernment. And we're really going to be honing in on this in my workshop coming up in September. We're doing a whole workshop called How to Test the Spirit 101, where I'm going to show you exactly how to test the spirit. We're going to be walking through the different types of wicked spirits and the signs for each spirit, so that it becomes increasingly impossible for someone to pull the wool over your eyes, despite the fact that they might be wearing a mask in that interaction. You will be able to spiritually discern that. It also comes with a workbook. This workshop comes with a workbook that you can use during and after the workshop. It's a digital workbook. I keep saying workbook that's emailed to you. So I'll leave the Zoom link in the video description box for those who are interested. Not the Zoom link. Today is not my day. I didn't have my coffee yet. So I'll leave the Eventbrite link in the video description box, so that you can find out more information if you're interested in purchasing a ticket to that workshop. It's going to be on Zoom, so you can attend no matter where you live in the world. So let's look at intuition and why this matters. Why this matters, right? So when you have a nagging feeling about someone, think of your intuition as your early warning system. So a lot of times it's like a radar beeping, right? Kind of like to give you a visual. And so observation gives you the data. Intuition tells you what to do with it. There you go. So observation gives you the data. Intuition tells you what to do with it. So when I observe, using this example to make it clear for you, when I observe that she was offended by my no, and I don't know her from a can of paint. I don't know this woman's character, reputation, integrity. I know nothing about her. She's my friend's friend. I don't know her. So I observe that she had a hard time with boundaries. I observed that she was catty when I verbalized that I wasn't going to give out my number, and I didn't say it in a mean or nasty way. But she was offended by that, because she thought, since she was my friend Donna's friend, that I'm supposed to just open up, my whole house to her, so to speak. So observation gave me the data, but my intuition told me she was going to be a headache. So my intuition told me what to do with it. My intuition told me, okay, you know that you don't want to be close to this woman. You all work in the same space when you come to this company once a week. So, of course, you'd be cordial, a general good morning to everyone. If you're getting coffee, you can get coffee for everyone. You're not trying to be bosom buddies. But you don't need to be starch enemies either. So you are polite. But polite doesn't mean that we are going to be friends. And so my intuition told me that this woman I did not want to be friends with her. But still, polite, as in co-working spaces. And so your observation gives you the data. Your intuition tells you what to do with it. So pause when something feels off and pray for clarity. James 1:5 tells us that we can ask God for wisdom, and he gives his wisdom freely. And so do know that the more that you observe and you trust your intuition, you will minimize more and more of the drama that comes your way. Have any of you ever had a situation similar to mine, where you met someone, you had an interaction with someone, and something instantaneously felt off to you and you went with it? You paid attention. You might have been respectful, polite about it, but you paid attention to what you were observing and you followed your intuition. How did it work out? Or on the flip side, did anyone have a situation where you did observe, maybe you downplayed it and said, it's not that big of a deal, it's just a little fox, so to speak, and you paid the penalty on the back end? What happened? let us know in the comments. That'll definitely help other people who might be in similar situations. So with that being said, I always want to make sure you know about the resources that we have available for you outside of the general public videos. So every Sunday, we have a church by phone service where you can come in your pajamas. We know that fellowship can happen beyond the four walls. And so we have a church by phone service every Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll leave the ministry website link in the video description box. That will take you to more information about church by phone. You just go to CassandraMacMinistries.com. So Sundays, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will definitely be spiritually, where you can grow in the Word, where you can come and fellowship by phone. So that's happening on Sundays. We also have a wellness club. If you are not a member of the wellness club, you are missing out. If any of you listening are members of the wellness club, leave a comment. How does the wellness club bless and benefit your life? Definitely let us know. So the wellness club is where it's at. It is a therapeutic group. We meet the first and third Wednesday of every month by conference call, telephone conference call. And what we focus on is mental self-care, spiritual self-care, workplace well-being through a biblical lens, and it is way cheaper than therapy. If you look at the cost of therapy and you look at the cost of the wellness club, it is, you can't even compare it. That's how much you are saving. So if you're interested in that, you're going to see a link in the video description box for channel membership, because the Wellness Club is one of the tiers of my channel membership. It will take you to channel membership, but make sure you join at the Wellness Club tier if you want access to those calls. And if you can't make the calls at 9 a.m. as a Wellness Club member, you get access to the audio recording. So you still be able to get all of the information that we talk about in those calls if you're not able to make the live call. It's interactive. You get to come up to the mic, share your thoughts, and you definitely will feel a sense of connection and like you are not alone. And then last but not least, as a reminder, the How to Test the Spirit workshop is happening September 13th by Zoom. And it definitely will be a blessing to those who want to grow in that area of knowing how to test the spirit, how to increase your discernment, and so forth. You'll see the link that'll take you to Eventbrite where you can learn more about the workshop. I wouldn't wait to get my tickets. Tickets to these workshops often sell fast. So I definitely would get on it if this is something that you are interested in. A lot of you asked, do I offer one-to-one coaching? I do have a few slots open. If you are serious, you will see the link in the video description box where you can find out more information about one-on-one coaching. So with that being said, have an amazing day. I want to say thank you to those of you who support this ministry. We could not do what we do without you. A big thank you to those of you who support with your financial donations. Thank you. Every bit helps this ministry. If this ministry and channel has been a blessing to you and it is on your heart to be a blessing to us in return, you can visit our website, CassandraMacMinistries.com. Click on the button that says donate and follow the prompts from there if you would like to be a blessing to this channel and ministry. You can also donate directly by way of YouTube. There's a super chat or super thanks feature where you can leave a donation that way for those that is in your heart to do that. So with that being said, have an amazing day. Let's do our best to be kind, but let's take our common sense with us. God bless.